So this chapter is about clustering. So in the previous chapter on discriminant analysis, we looked at what was called a supervised learning method. So we were given data on features X, compared to X, and a label for each observation Y. Okay, so we had measurements about each observation and which group it belonged to. And the aim in that chapter was to train a model to, given X, predict its label Y. Now in cluster analysis, the aim is similar, but in this case, it's an unsupervised method. What that means is we are not given any of the labels Y. So we're given lots of data on individual cases, and we want to say, are there natural clusters here? Does it look like the data come in groups, in clusters? Are there subpopulations here? But we're not told anything about it. So we're not told the population splits into 3 irises or 10 different types of digit or anything like that. We're just given the underlying raw data. So it's an unsupervised method. And the aim is to split the data into clusters such that the cases within a cluster are more similar to each other than they are to observations in other clusters. So we're looking for natural similarities. And obviously, the type of distance function we use here is going to be important. And how we compare groups is going to be important. So we're going to look at 3 different types of methods. The first one is a partitioning method. It's called k-means clustering. It's a very popular method. And the idea is to split space up into a Voronoi tessellation, so that each point gets assigned to one cluster. That's a type of partitioning method. We're then going to look at model-based clustering, where we have a density function, a probability model for the different populations, and we're going to try and estimate the parameters for the model, as well as the assignment. And it's very similar to what we did in linear discriminant analysis, okay? But we're doing it all without the label. And finally, we're going to look at something that's completely different feeling, and that are these hierarchical clustering methods. And they're going to produce these nice tree-like pictures. So I can find one. Okay, these called dendrograms that tell us how the observations relate to each other. And in hierarchical clustering methods, we don't need the x's. Okay, it's just going to work with a distance matrix, like we did in multidimensional scaling.